I need a new house, mate. So let's figure this one out.
Yeah, I grinded a house this year.
All
One cycle,
right.
all it takes.
One cycle, one
Yeah.
well-played cycle,
One
right?
cycle, well played. Don't route a
Yeah,
tree, secure the
yeah.
bag. Just
And
let's
then
fucking go.
I know. It's exciting. It's exciting, but I think we are in the like this week is massive. I think this week is going to be a massive, massive decision for markets.
Well, I don't think you can take any moves at all before the election. Like,
I agree. Yep,
I
I
mean, you're just
completely
gonna,
agree.
if anything, we should be de-risking a bit.
I was just going to say that, you know what I mean? Like getting because we are sort of like in the whole portfolio, we're talking about like we are roughly about 20% in stables, like in USD ready to deploy. But then I think
All these things are going to tank if that bitch wins
exactly. I do think so. Like
temporarily.
I
But
do. I agree. I agree. I agree. I'm actually even thinking to get some shorts ready as well. You know what I mean? Like getting some good short plays. If you know what I mean. Like that's yeah. We'll go through it today. See what we because it's not a bad idea to start hedging. But at the end of the day, yeah, I do believe de-risking is not a bad idea before election. Like especially after what happened over the weekend. Like you can actually see. And I was seeing that. Yeah, I was sort of preempting that every if Wayne wins or if Kamala is front running him or whatever, you know what I mean? You're going to see the reaction of the market as it goes. And Kamala actually got a little bit more I think she got in front of the polls for like a
I think
10% or
it's a
something like
50.
that.
I think it's a 50-50 call. I don't think you can look at it any other way other than a coin flip.
I
And
think so. Yeah, I
yeah,
agree.
Yeah. For the next 2 days, just burn one down and listen to the Grateful Dead. Like it's just, I'm not sticking my head in that meat blender of news building up to all of this. It's like count me out for a couple of days, and I'll see you when the actual result is in.
yeah, yep.
Nice.
That's the way I feel about it too.
Yeah,
Did
me
some of
too.
the daylight saving bullshit happen to change the time of this?
Yeah, it happened at 2 o'clock in the morning USA today.
Gotcha.
Mm. Yeah, I was all confused as well. Which, by the way, before we start, Scott, in on those meme coins, Harambe, we have two different tokens. One is in Solana and one is in Ethereum. Which one is the one I can post? Which one is the one that you actually got into?
I haven't got in yet. I got
Okay.
in, but I'm gonna get in today. Well, actually, I'm gonna wait until after the election. If we get an election crash, that's what I'm jumping in on.
All right.
And it's the Solana one. It's $35 million market cap.
Okay.
It's got 16,000 holders. The holders are going up steadily. It's by the metrics, it's the best one.
Got it. Okay. So you actually got it in locked in, so I can call in I can send the trade over.
I think we should probably.
I think hold this. In my view,
I think hold this one.
All right, I'll hold that one. I'll put a note on
if we
the
crash
message.
after the election, that's definitely a buy though.
Cool.
The one that I really like here is Lock-in, LOCKIN.
Yep.
I like Lock-in. I like Harambe. I like Sigma. I like and I like Retadio, obviously. I mean, Retadio is outperforming big coins in terms of mind share and new wallets onboarded and.
Yeah. My Trojan bot sent me a notification last night of a quick 100% profit, which was quite nice when you get those.
Nice. In which
I love those.
All done for you, and you're like that. Oh, that's nice, isn't
it? and they charge you for it, and then they do all the work. It's like,
yeah, it's
not so bad.
What a crazy service it is. Yeah. All right.
Oh, there's some crazy bots that are happening with the AI right now. I'm doing some research because obviously I'm researching all the agent AI ecosystems and things like that. And in the next couple of weeks, I think is going to be a lot of action if everything goes Trump way, right? Like I think, yeah, very exciting, very exciting, very interesting price action.
Okay. Well, I'll start with a bit of Bitcoin then, and like from now on, like there's no more politics because fuck knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, let's keep that away from here. Like, let's just call
Yeah.
it, I think we can just all agree to call it a 50-50 call.
I agree.
I actually took a little bit of the Polymarket bet on Kamala because not because I like her, I think she's a dumb cunt, but because the odds were so out of skew. When it was like 70%, it was like, really? Fuck off. Like you can't have 70% in a 2-horse race. Like I've been fighting for a long time, and you just and anytime you see those odds in fighting, you just take the underdog because you know there's always a puncher's chance.
All right. Well, an interesting week in Bitcoin because we had the monthly close happen, and then obviously we've had the weekly close happen today. So if we start off here on the weekly, then just move this over here somewhere. So first of all, we got picture perfect. We got this fantastic breakout candle above this downtrend. We closed above it. Then we retested it, and then we went on to touch the top of this range before rejecting from it. So 3 candles and a complete reversal. Now, if we just stop there and have a quick look at the monthly, because the monthly close happened obviously before the weekly close, and we get quite a lot of information from this candle here. The first piece of information is we've made higher highs to all of these last month's recent candles. But what we didn't do was monthly close above these 2 highs or close outside the top of the range. So when I first see a monthly candle like that, I'm expecting weakness to follow. I'm expecting a retest to follow that.
Well, it's not a completed monthly candle, is it though?
It was.
Yeah, it was a couple of days ago. Yeah,
It was a couple of days ago for October's. Yeah.
Okay.
So just focusing on that. So I was expecting to see some kind of weakness, which might come in the form of another retest. And we've got a couple of 3 levels that we could retest now. But before we think about all of these different retesting scenarios that could happen, it's like we are moving along in this same channel. There's been a lot of price action here, and we're just moving along nicely now. And I think that the next act will be from whatever the next catalyst is that will make the market move. So I don't have a 50 up and 50% that we reach.
Well, in a way, I'd like to see Kamala win because it'd shake a lot of people out. I think it's not going to be a big shakeout. I think it'd just be one of those short, scary 2-day, oh fuck, hands off the steering wheel things, and then back to what we're doing.
And then back to business from there. One thing that is really worth paying attention to is not the is the Bitcoin dominance. So let's have a look at this on the monthly. Actually,
it's sucking the oxygen out of the room, right?
It is. It really is. So the hottest girl on campus maybe is the kind of phraseology that you would use. Now I've marked up these previous areas that have shown that when we've been around this range, big moves tends to happen. And we've just been on this charge, and then we weekly closed above this kind of, 60, let's just call it 60% level. And, we are still looking to further move into what is let me just get this, really, you could draw a line about there, and then you could say, right, that green to blue is the range for.
I don't know that you can do technical analysis on a derivative, and Bitcoin dominance is a derivative. I don't at any sort of it's like doing technical analysis on the VIX. Like I know you can trade this, but yeah, I'd be a bit funny about doing any. You know, what can we say? We can say that Bitcoin is stronger than the other coins and continuing to get stronger.
Mm-hmm.
That can be that can have momentum. That can be a self-fulfilling prophecy, but I don't think you can, you know, targets and support and resistance. I don't think all the rest of the palaver comes into play with it. I think you have to be very, very careful about it.
Yeah, what I'm trying to draw out of this is a general picture of what normally happens. So normally when we get to the top of around this kind of 70%, we see this big drop off. So that's an alt season. Here, 2021, this is the
That's
biggest
an alt
alt season ever on record. So the more that we're above this green line and heading towards that blue line, alts won't be able to keep up with that kind of dominance. Now, it's not until we get these little breaks in the dominance that we could see the alts. So here, for example, let's say that this was to retest down here to this imaginary line. Well, that would open a very small window for alts. If it doesn't do that retest and it just keeps on shooting up, we could then have a look at what's happening with alts here and think to ourselves, well, okay, then if Bitcoin dominance is shooting up like that, what's the most likely effect that would have on the altcoins? Now, I'll park it there because the general idea here is to start to get some conceptual idea of when altcoins will pump without bringing in this will happen and this will definitely happen.
I think you want to see evidence that altcoins are pumping.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I mean, in my view, the lack of alt season so far has been that meme coins sucked all the action out. Like that, like why would you bet on alts when memes are mooning and easier to understand, and there's no bullshit with them, and you know they're a scam, so you don't have to worry about is it a scam? Like, yeah, it's definitely a scam. I think you have to look at altcoins versus meme coins, and when altcoins start to outperform meme coins, that's an alt season. I don't think it's about altcoins outperforming Bitcoin anymore. I think it's about altcoins outperforming memes.
There we go. Nice. Well, I think on that note, I'll hand it over.
Can we go next, Maurizio?
Yep, I'll go next. No worries. So yeah, I do agree with Scott. Let me just share my because this is what I'm seeing at the moment.
Yeah, guys, no big risks before election day. Come on, like you just don't.
Yeah.
You don't have an edge here. The essence of trading is not where do I place stops and targets. All that stuff is bullshit. The essence of trading is you should put on trades when you have an edge, and you should pull the trades off when you don't have an edge. So you've got to be really clear about what your edge is. And, you know, our edge here was the reason that Bitcoin went up so much is because people were front running the Bitcoin flows because it was assuming that he was a slam dunk to win. He's not a slam dunk to win anymore. He's a 50-50 call. So those flows will probably evaporate if he loses.
Mm-hmm.
And then we can see some sort of and then we can see some sort of like pretty severe shakeout.
I agree. I definitely agree. I was definitely hoping that up to this point, right, a few days before the election, like you don't see much. I was expecting volatility, of course, but then obviously odds have changed a lot. So with that being said, regardless of who wins, I think we will have a little bit of a dump, but it could be volatile anyway. But I don't see any, like I don't have any edge here. And as you say, it's better off to take some risk off the table. So in terms of Bitcoin, obviously this is my sort of box that I drew a while back, and it's actually right in between. So this is the weekly in a way. So any break to either direction, it gives us a better way to visualize the market in terms of Bitcoin or alts. Now, I've been saying before the month, and that a lot of people, like, especially institutions will take some risk off before the elections. That's a natural thing to do, right? That's something that you will do regardless. Like before the elections, before the end of the month, you have some wins, you have a really good profit, then you take profit. And at the moment, the way that I see it is, if you have a look at Bitcoin and let's compare it with Total 3, right? There is a huge difference in terms of then no one is holding out like as they hold in Ethereum. And you can actually see that by the Bitcoin dominance, right? Like Ian just showed us, Bitcoin dominance is through the roof. So, but Bitcoin dominance, bear in mind that even like what I see is that people are dumping out prior elections. However, this is a 50-50 thing. I will definitely like to get some plays on in some outs, but not all of them, because this could, like, if you know something happened, this could actually
Well,
go a little bit
it
lower.
goes the other way too. People are hedging with the highest beta things, which are altcoins, right?
Exactly.
If the election looks like going Trump's way, those hedges are going to come off in a hurry and it's going to spike like a motherfucker. So in other words, in plain English, the election is riskier than what we thought, right? And so what do you do when things are riskier than you thought? You lower your position sizes, you hedge out as much as you can, you take the risks that you want to take. The risk that we want to take is that we're in a crypto bull market. The risk that we don't want to take is that we get liquidated through some whipsaw election night rumor bullshit, fake out, shake out crap. So your number one priority has to be to avoid that. That has to be avoided.
I agree. So if you guys are in any leverage positions, then definitely I'll be either looking to have those or close them off or whatever, or to have some.
Or just shut them down.
Exactly. That's what I will do. The only one that I'm keeping, let me go through the positions because we still have some stuff open. So let's go through Popcat. Popcat, I'll leave it on. Like we took some profits. Stop loss has completely covered. There's no risk on this one. MNT, I'll be closing half of this one. This one is not doing great, to be honest. Like it's still on break even, but it's not my. But what do you reckon? That's my take. And say it's still going well. So all the stuff that are completely off risk doesn't matter if you like, if you cover your stop loss on break even or even a little bit higher. This is just a luck thing. If Trump wins and this thing goes to the moon, happy days, right? Same thing with Dutch. So Dutch still keeping this one, took some profits around, took some profits. Yeah, and then obviously leave it on. That's the only thing that will leave on because I'm off risk. You know what I mean? Like if you haven't taken profits yet, please do and move your stop loss. It's sensible, right? And then, yeah, that's kind of the only thing that I've been looking to do on derivatives or a leverage place. And then I'll be going through the whole portfolio today and tomorrow and then start de-risking a bunch of things, especially, I want to hear your thoughts. There's a bunch of stuff on the RWA sector spot in terms of regulations and a bunch of different things. So I might just start going to de-risking on Ondo. So we've been going really well on Ondo, but Ondo is going to have some unlocks and it's a few things coming up on Ondo. So I think so I just want to hear your thoughts on that one. So let me just go through the where's Ondo? Right here. So Ondo, because I do have some, this is where we add in Ondo. So
hasn't really done much, has it?
No. And in fact, I was actually hoping for this thing to actually keep, like, it doesn't seem as strong as it is. And the fact that we do have some unlocks happening in the next couple of months, we might see a spike but then that's one. I just want to hear your thoughts on this one.
It was one of the leaders earlier in the year. It was like the hot girl on campus kind of thing.
Yeah. Same thing as So we're doing like still a profit on Ondo and my thought on is doing really well as well. So I'm just going to start taking some profits as well. We have a new in C pool as well. So I might de-risk on these ones. But there's a few new players that I want to sort of go through it today and, you know, have some capital ready to probably, I think, yeah. So yeah, what are you reckon about Ondo, Scott? Do you reckon will be sensible to start taking some risk off the table here?
I don't
What
think
do
you have
reckon?
enough. I don't think you have enough evidence yet. I think
Yeah.
I think I want to see. I want to see relative outperformance first.
Got it. Okay.
Personally, I mean, it's at a good price.
Mm-hmm.
It's at a good price. It's good tech. It was something that people loved before. Could definitely come
Mm-hmm.
back. I just want to see. I just don't want to go first. If you know what I mean.
Fair enough. Yeah, I know what you mean. Cool.
I mean,
So
you,
yeah,
you,
that's
you can call it. Like, don't let me stop
Mhm.
you calling it.
No, that's cool. That's kind of the sector that I'm focusing on to start getting some you know, de-risking at some level. So yeah, I'm just going through all the stuff that we have, and then yeah. So with that being said, let me show you a new one so this is kind of the list that I'm sort of getting ready, right? So I have Checks. So Checks is a brand new, not brand new. It's a Singaporean sort of project on the RWA.
That's a good looking chart.
And
That's a good chart.
it really looks good. It's an RWA player. So it comes down to compete with Ondo, and Sifu in a way, but actually the framework that they do have, check it out. I'll put some stuff afterwards, but I think Checks is on my list. And the fact that if we look at from the daily perspective, I got when you can actually see people buying at this level, like you can actually see demand on this thing. So it could do really well. So that's something that I'm thinking of getting position prior election, to be honest. It looks pretty strong at this level. And the project itself, it looks pretty good. RWAs, I think it's here to stay. And the framework that the project have is already live, and it's a Singaporean project. So I really like this one. Another one that I like is Order. So Order finally seems to be hitting the lows. and the fact that it's going to be a lot of action on the perp side of things. So the Order network might be really interesting to play. So I'm looking on this one as well to get position on these lows. I'm looking at this from the spot perspective, guys. I'm not thinking about doing any leverage unless I see something really juicy that I want to take and do like a very quick scalp. I'm talking about 2 hours, 3 hours scalp that I can see price pumping that I can get in. Then that could be one. And all the agents, like AI agents, these definitely are my favorites. And my favorite is going to be, I'm looking into getting position agent. This one hasn't dropped at all a cent whatsoever in the next couple of days.
That's a good looking chart, dude. That's
very good look. It's a very good looking. I was actually hoping to get into the pullback. There hasn't been any pullback yet. Question is it going to be a pullback? So that's something that we can either just start getting a position here prior election, and then if it drops, because I really like this project. It looks pretty solid on what they're doing, and AI, regardless of who wins, AI is here to stay. And the fact of what they have, same thing with Guru. And let me just go through. Guru is not as strong as that one. So if I have to pick two, I will pick Olas. Let me show you Olas. So Olas is it's now getting traction because now they deploying the AI agent sort of technology infrastructure, and it's holding pretty well these levels. This is when they sort of announce what they're doing with the network and stuff like that. So I think agent and Olas are my favorites. I'm still looking into Virtual. So Virtual, same thing. There's something about Virtual that I'm not in love with this stuff, but then price action, it looks pretty good. This thing looks pretty good. So those are my favorites. Now I want to introduce another one. It's called the Equilibrium wrap quill. So this one looks horrible. However, this one they're doing a project. This is a very long-term project that I'm gonna start sort of accumulating. I think this could be the lowest thing that we can see this thing on, and this is a project that they're doing on sort of decentralizing the internet in a way. It has a lot of interesting backers. Technology is actually pretty interesting. So this one could gain some traction. This drop here is a significant thing that they did with the network intent from the miners, that they actually releasing some equity to the miners. So that's why you see the sell-off, and that's why you see a rapid comeback. So I think these are kind of my low cap, very low cap, really high potential long-term holds in a way, because obviously these could actually appreciate in value quite a bit. So yeah, these kind of are the ones that I'm looking very closely, guys. So and on top of the RWA project, so those I'm focusing my efforts in getting those lists ready to see how they behave throughout this week, and then maybe start adding some positions, just, you know, the risk on the portfolio, but then adding on some really good options here. So those kind of are my picks from this week so far. I might add some more throughout the week. So yeah, that's what I have for you guys today.
Nice. There's a few requests to just make your screen just a little bit bigger, if you could, Maurizio.
Sure.
Yeah.
Tim Griffin, how can you leverage Retadio? Don't do that. That's fucking retarded, man. Like, it's so crazy as it is. It goes up and down 50% in a couple of days. Like, you don't want to leverage it because you're going to blow up. Like, you're just 100% chance of blowing it up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can leverage it on OX.fund, by the way, but don't do that. That's stupid. That's like if like I'm sitting on a 100 bagger there and I haven't made profits. Like, if that's not enough for you, like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, if putting in $1 and if putting in $1,000 and getting back 100 grand so far, and it looks like it's going to 10x from there, and it looks like it's going to be putting in $1,000 and getting back $1 million. If that's not enough for you, I don't know what to say. Like, this ain't the right game for you if that's not enough for you. Like,
I got
leverage these stupid things. They're valueless. Like, there's no inherent value in it.
Scott, I got to stick up for Tim. He's furiously typing away as much as he can.
Okay, Tim. We don't think you're a retard. Okay.
It's all right. So,
Okay.
Eric,
Okay. Do not leverage anything right now. Like, you get, like, I mean, that's all I've got to say is 2 weeks ago, it looked like Trump had it in the bag. Now it looks like a 50-50 call. We can ignore the facts and just find a bunch of people on the internet who agree with us, or we can face reality and say, look, there's a significant risk that Kamala wins. And what happens if Kamala wins? We get an instant nuke on all our bags, and then things stabilize. And her policies are pretty pro-crypto now.
Yeah, what I was thinking as well, if there is a play that I've been thinking, like I'm thinking of doing, like, if Trump wins, definitely I'll be more heavy on alts, right? Especially on DeFi, things like that.
Sure.
Definitely. If Kamala wins, I think I'll be shorting some DeFi projects, because I think, you know, those ones were gonna be the first ones that they don't gonna see the light, right? If Kamala, like, you know, if
I
that
think she might
government,
change her tune. I think she got bigger problems. But I wouldn't know.
Probably,
I don't want
yeah.
to get into politics. Like, no, like we've got to stick to putting on trades where we have an edge, and not putting on trades where we don't have an edge. And I just don't think we have an edge in US politics and predicting it. And I don't think we have an edge in predicting the future policies of presidential candidates. I don't think that's any of our expertise. I don't think any of us would get a job doing that. Anyone in the chat who'd be eligible for a job doing that, you might have an edge. I don't. I'm a fat guy on the internet, and I don't even like America really that much. So, like, Like your politics are like Saudi Arabian politics to me. It's like so incomprehensible.
Dude, you can't say that and then tell people they can't talk about politics. Fucking hell.
I can do what I fucking want. It's my company. Fuck all you. Oh, maybe you should speak to the customer service officer. He's right here.
Oh.
But honestly, like we just don't have an edge. We don't know. It's a 50-50. Like the easiest way to treat it right now is a coin flip. And it's a coin flip where if Trump wins and it's an obvious win, we spike straight away. If Kamala wins and it's an obvious Kamala win, we drop straight away. The more likely thing is that no one fucking knows for weeks, and there's weeks of bullshit and talking heads on TV and fucking counts and lawsuits and all that shit. Like, this could drag on for a while.
Definitely.
Like, there's a whole bunch of different ways this could go. Like, I don't think we want to be in the business of thinking we know what's going to happen.
I agree. I think from our perspective, I think I'll be looking to de-risk a bunch of stuff that we have, having some cash available as well. This is great to deploy to either direction.
I think cash available is great. I think if we get a crash, the exact moment that you want to buy is where you think, oh fuck, this is scary. Yeah, and I think there's some wisdom to what Perry said. You know, no matter, you really think everything is going to change that much? Like, I mean, all that stuff about we're going to bring in Elon Musk to revolutionize the government, like that sounds great, but will he fucking do it? He didn't fucking do it last time. He had 4 years. He didn't fucking do shit. The government at the end of Trump looked pretty much exactly like the government at the start of Trump. Like, so I mean, we got a pretty good track record that no matter who's in power, and Kamala's been vice president for 4 years. What's she done? She done fucking nothing. You know, she says, "Oh, it's going to be so different under me." Well, how the fuck, bitch? Like I think our logical position has to be that both of those people are fucking liars, and they're going to say whatever they can to get elected, and then they're going to go back to doing what they did the day before they were elected, which is pandering to the big corporate interests that bought and paid for them and then own them. Like, I think that's my default case, is that nothing much changes. If you had 1K to slam into a crash, would you do Retardio or lock-in? Retardio is a safer play with more upside. Lock-in has an incredible risk-reward ratio right now. I would also look at Harambe on Sol. I'm holding off on meme calls until after the election. We had a chat about this before the call. I think memes are going to tank hardest if Trump loses. If memes tank, well, there's a chance they might not come back. Like Kamala could do some crazy shit like sue Pump Fun, and then it'll be all be memes. Like, I mean, there's a serious risk there. So I, for one, hope that Trump gets in just because he's going to pump my bags.
I think we all. I do believe so. Yeah, definitely. If Trump wins it,
God bless that brave soldier. He's doing it all for democracy or whatever the fuck he's doing it for. Keep the communists out. Make America something again, and whatever the fuck.
Your friend, he is.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. I don't know, Tim. California seems like the richest part of America. Like, making it a bit more like the richest part of America may not be a bad thing. I'm just saying. Like I don't think we want to get into politics. Like, I mean, American politics is nuts. If you guys seriously think that Kamala and Donald Trump are the best two that you've got out of 300 and something million, and those are the best two you got, fuck off. Like, fuck off. Those two are a fucking disgrace. I wouldn't vote for either of them in a dog catcher contest. They suck. Both of them. They're fucking retards. That's my opinion. Tune in for more political opinion at 11.
Oh man, yeah, I have no opinion
on where you're standing on the matter.
Perry, I really like Giga. There's a couple of problems with Giga. The first problem is that it's already very, very highly valued. Doesn't mean it can't go more. I think it looks good. The second is that it's quite centralized in control. Thai politics, it's actually illegal to talk about. Ian and I can end up in jail for that. So we will not talk about Thai politics because they have a blanket rule that every allegation of talking about Thai politics has to be investigated by the cops. That's a good way to find yourself in fucking jail over here. So you treat yourself like you're a dinner guest and you make polite conversation and you don't say anything bad about the host.
Exactly. I'm fully aware I'm the second-class citizen here. I'm okay.
We're absolutely got no rights. Absolutely, you can be put on a plane and shoved off at the end. And by the end of the day, if you say the wrong thing, you can be on a plane back out, never to come home. Yeah, by the end of the day, if you open your mouth or do the wrong thing here, so you just got to behave yourself like you're almost like you're a guest in someone else's country, and it's a beautiful country and it's cheap and they don't even charge you taxes. It's like, and they've got super hot women and great beaches and the food is awesome and it's so cheap and no taxes, but you got to shut the fuck up here. That's the deal. Giant douche versus turd sandwich. Yeah, everything is the same from the call a few days ago. I've checked it. I check it every day. I think it's the same. Jerome Konkan, very nice little city in the middle of Thailand. I assume you're going there to meet a lady friend. The weed is very good in Thailand. We can all confirm.
No, we can't anymore. It's why we're all sat around at the weekend going. So
yeah, weekends are so boring when you stop smoking weed, aren't they?
But, you know, with this exponential phase of the bull run coming up, everything gets put on hold. The drug habits, family, washing.
Yeah, no, everyone knows. Everyone knows to lock in. It's time to lock the fuck in. All right, guys. We're just blathering on now. Let's not take up anyone's time. I'll probably do another call after the election if it looks like something's going to change.
Awesome. And stay peeled for Maurizio's daily update videos because they are just full of gold from start to finish.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
See you in the everyone.